Hey guys, I'm making this recording now to explain this submitting quote request. So just to read it, you guys understand the purpose behind this. So this is going to be the stage 1 launch, which is the set of requirements we need to complete to launch this website. So we've got the custom quote section, and what we going to do now is make sure that when anyone selects all these options from the front end, including the paper information, and then finishes, and then submit a quote request, to capture that information inside orders, and be able to create enterprises for that quote. Yeah. So when I submit a quote from the front end, we're going to use the existing Edge system, and the orders will come through this section as quotes. So the order status will say quote. That means that quote has been submitted by the customer from here, from the front end. Yeah. Now, obviously, we're going to use the existing Edge system. So I'm going to go onto this page. I'm going to go on Edit Order. I'm going to go into this page here. So this is the page I'm referring to my document and how we're changing this. Obviously, we need to customize this for us to be able to accept the quote request submissions. But the only purpose for right now, for me to get this website launched, is to basically capture the information in here, and then go edit, and then put in a price. Yeah. So now this currently doesn't work for me. This is price and quantity, and this product isn't correct, so I can't use this. So these are the functionalities that I'm explaining now that you need to amend to that products page, yeah, on the orders. So first of all, I don't want you guys to get confused with this product section here that I've drawn up: category, business cards, material, process, and then selecting of the paper. So forget about selecting anything from here, and forget about adding a quote internally through this system using the database. Yeah, so I'm going to be adding quote using the custom section, which is later on in this document. So for right now, just don't get confused by this. Yeah. Now, when a custom quote is submitted, the information and the data is streamed into this section here in individual lines. Yeah. So say someone submitted a custom quote for this paper, ribbed 300 GSM. They've selected color white and size is 90 by 55. They've also selected printing, one color one side, and they selected foil stamping one side, gloss silver. Yeah. So from the front end, basically they would have gone here, and they would have gone and selected ribbed 300 GSM. They would have selected a craft paper, a white paper. They would have selected one color one side. They would have selected a 90 by 55. They would have selected let me go back here, 500 times 5 kinds, so 500, 400, whatever, times 5 kinds. And they would have selected foil stamping, they would have selected a silver foil or whatever, and they clicked submit. Yeah, so this is how I would like the information to come through. So first of all, you can see the 3 separate lines. So because I'm going to be adding a price for the paper, I'm going to be adding price for the printing, one color one side, and I'm going to be adding individual price for foil stamping one side in gloss silver. Yeah, so like this, I'm going to be adding the prices in here. Now the structure, the setup I need is basically we got the material and the process codes. Yes, so the material is paper, and the process is finishing or printing. Yeah, so Alvin understands that. Scott, if he needs to explain that, he can. So the code will need to show up here first. Yeah, so that's a code for the paper. This is code for the finish, and that's code for finish. I know because M is material, P is for process. Category is business card. Now everything at the moment, as far as the custom quote is concerned, is for business cards alone. We will have the same database for stickers and for other products, but right now, you guys need to understand that it is just the custom quote is just a business card category, but do need to see that category in here because the codes will be different from business cards to stickers. The papers will be different from the business cards to stickers and other stationery stuff. guys, just a little bit. I'm just recording here. And the options even, so the foil stamping, for example, will have different colors and different options in foil stamping. So I do need this category included in here, so I can see what I'm quoting. Yeah. Item is ribbed 300 GSM color white, size 90 by 55. I think that's clear. Ribbed paper, white color, one side, 90 by 55. That goes under description, so the attributes essentially goes under the description. So same for the printing, one color, one side, and foil stamping, etc. Yeah. Quantity in cards, this is as the customer selected it from the front end. Yeah. Now, my purposes here is to give to input price, discount if applicable in a total price. So I'll do that exactly how the Edge system works. I go into and I click on the sorry, let me just go to the other page. So go into this page. So I don't have a price in here for now, or a quantity or nothing, so I'm going to go edit. Then, the data is just transferred over here, and then, like I said, I don't need to change this at this stage. Yeah, I can quote for exactly what the customer requests, so I don't need to change ribbed to another paper or change the color or the printing for now, unless it's really easy to do. Yeah, but if obviously if I change the paper here, I need subsequent drop downs to change the size, to change the color of the paper, and same for the printing. I've got multiple options. I've got foil stamping, got a foil color, so I need to select those somehow up here. Now, so that this development project isn't very long, I don't need that for right now. I'm happy to just click onto the edit button and input a price in here. Yeah, so and that function is already supported. I can put a price in here, etc. But in this new format. Yeah. So this is what I'm explaining. Total price. Having click edit inputs a price. Yeah. So I've explained here our pricing structure is different than the core version of the Edge CMS. So basically, the code is this part here. Now when I'm putting in a price, say for $100, that's that price here. Now the quantity shows up here. The quantity isn't actually it's just a number. We're not using the quantity to add up to the price. We're using kinds instead of the quantity to add up to a total price. Yeah. So price is say $100 for 500 business cards essentially. Yeah. So we've got 5 kinds here. So I need 5 times 500 business cards. So kinds are basically in the printing world is like for business cards 5 different names. Yeah. So I'm printing 500 cards. One for Alvin, one for Scott, one for Ren, one for Attila, and one for Dion, basically. Yeah. So it's 5 times 5 different names. Therefore, we're going to add that price up. So the price is $100 for 500 business cards, and I'm multiplying that by 5 kinds, which is $500. Now, if you follow me in this case, I might apply a discount of 10%, which is $50. So 500 minus $50 is $450, and that's how the system calculates the total price. Yeah. So I'm punching in the number here. The quantity is preset, and then I just select from riddle button 1 times, 2 kinds, 5 kinds, 10 kinds, 20 kinds, 50 kinds, etc. Put in a discount, click on add, and the system will work out the total price for me automatically. Okay, and that it would be the price for the paper only. Okay, now then I'll go click onto the edit. I'll work out the price for printing 1 color, and then I'll put the 500 quantity, the kinds times 5, and then I'll work out the price, etc. Yeah, and that will just populate these prices from here. Yeah. Now that's one way for me to just input the prices for the quote that the customer has requested and pre-filled all this information for me. But say I want to be able to use the Edge system to send custom quotes. So in that case, saving, because I don't have the full databases, and there's a lot of development we need to do to be able to do all the quotes from the database. In the category section, so where I've got the business card, when I click onto this drop down here, say the emergencies category, and I've got business cards, stickers, etc. My first selection here is custom. So if I select custom from there, all that means is just that the system will allow me to enter the item and the description freely. Yeah, so I don't need a code, I don't need to select the category. I'm just basically I'm just punching in, I'm free typing the information into the item column and free typing the information into the description. Yeah. So you guys would have, if you read the document, would have seen what the outcome of this is, which is this quote here. Yeah, so the quote basically will have the item and the description into one line, quantity counts, etc. So this is the stuff I'll be free typing through the CMS in here. Okay, so once again, item and the description, those are the only two values I need for instead of the database and codes and categories. And then the price, quantity and kinds and discount follows the same formula as I explained above. Yeah, so I've got two options. One is to just use the values and the attributes that the customer has selected from the custom quote section and submit it, or I create a custom quote myself by using the custom category from here. Now it's just important that in this description box and in the item I can enter soft breaks. So I don't want my quote looking like it's written all in one line. I'd like to be able to put an enter and then change the and then sort of put a soft returns and breaks and just free type here with free type into the toolbox. So here the order summary, that's the order summary there. So all we're doing is in the order summary is my total price is added up into the products total as per the current Edge system. Yeah. Now you will note obviously I have the price column as well that the Edge system doesn't have, and that's the price I'm multiplying with kinds to end up with my total price less the discount. So once again, so it's $100 times 5 is 500. Less 10%, so 10% of 100 is 10. Sorry, this is 500. Sorry, this is 100 times 5 is 500. 10% is 50, so 500 minus 50 is 450, and that's how I end up the total price. Okay. Now when I add up all the total prices, then it ends up with a products, i.e. a quote total. Yeah. Now the Edge system uses the discount function here. Now I need you to understand that this discount here and that discount here are completely independent of each other. Yeah. So say I've got this product total, already it includes some kind of a discount here that's due to this kind section, but so don't worry about that. So but this discount here is if I want to add an extra discount, which is just as the base Edge system works. So that you don't need to change anything, or you don't need to connect these two discounts or show anything here. So this discount, you don't even need to, we're not really going to use it unless we further discount this product total. So there's no connection between those two. Still leave it in there because I might decide to then give him 10% of everything, and that will give a discount on the products total, which is just how the system works. Okay. Now the whole purpose of this is for me to be able to send quotes to customers. So this is this function here on the Edge CMS, which is obviously we don't have the quote, so we'll have a quote here as well, and then we'll be able to download the PDF file and send the email as per the base function of the Edge system. So we'll use that, and then this is basically what the quote will look like. So all you're doing is changing the invoice or the order to quote and including quote number. And then all the information will come through from those attributes and properties into this under this item. Okay. So now the only thing you guys need to understand is just so that my quote looks neat, I'm combining the information from the the category and the item and description into just one. Okay, so I might just bring this up for you guys so you can compare side by side. So this is what a basic quote would look like in the CMS: category, item, and description. and then in the actual quote here, in the item is listed. It's just neatened up. So if you just follow what I explain here, I think it makes sense. So in the item, I'm going to include business cards, which is a category. I'm going to start my description of that line by category, but only if it's a stock, if it's a if the item is material, yeah, so like paper stock. Then I will include business card, yeah. So yep. So if it's a category is business card, my first item, because this starts with am, so it's a material. In my quote, I will say business card, paper, etc. Yeah, because my quote needs to be neat. I don't need, if it's a printing, I don't need to repeat business cards printing, business cards foil stamping, because it's just weird. Yeah. So basically, this item is just consolidating the data from the database. Okay, so we start with the category only if my first item is, or any of my items in here is material. Yeah, because I might have a sticker underneath here. I might have sticker printing later on. So this might say stickers, and then stock 150 artboard, and then printing, full color, foil stamping one side. As an item underneath here in the future, yeah. So don't let me confuse you now. So all you gotta just remember is, if my item code starts with M, just include the category name, boom, business card, done. And then all this other information, which is the stock in color and size, it's exactly as the information held in the CMS. So color white, size 90 by 55, one color one side of gloss silver, etc. And it's the same information as it's available on the front end as well here. So paper stock, I mean, I call mine stock, so, and paper stock, so you obviously merge it together. So paper stock group, paper color white, printing one color, size, etc. It's all transferred over into this section here. Quantity 5 kinds, and then all the pricing and discounts is applied as per the section I've just explained earlier for the pricing, yeah? So hopefully this is clear, guys, but if you just follow what I've had in here, then you can't, if you just replicate this is correct in terms of how one quote would show. And all the prices in here are all correctly calculated as well. So 500 quantity of 5 kinds of a $20 price unit. So 20 times 5 is 100. And then 10% of 100 is 10, so 100 minus 10 is $90. So all these add up correctly. So let me continue into, once we've bypassed this stage. So once the system is able to download a quote like this, then we're going to go and send that quote to the customer. But just one thing I want to mention here, Alvin and Scott, with this item, just so my quote looks really neat. So again, business card category if it's a material, and then stock semicolon, and then the attribute, color semicolon, and then the attribute. I want section breaks like this, all in separate lines, not all running on one line. So it's nice and neat. Space between the next item, then printing, one color one side, and then space after a line, and then this is foil stamping finish, 2 sides, front color gloss, back color matte silver. So that, for example, translates from here, 2 sides, front color, matte, etc., gloss, whatever, yeah. So that translates exactly from foil stamping, sides, 2 sides, front color, back color. And that shows up really neatly in this separate lines next to the quantity kinds and the prices, etc. Yeah. So I hope this part is clear. It's not complicated. It's just maybe just let me know if this is unclear. I can go over this with you on Skype. Okay. Now once the quote is saved and is downloaded and it functions fine, you guys will let me know and we will test this. I will make sure that this is functioning correctly by testing the CMS. So you guys let me know at the milestone of each completion, and I'll be testing this with the team here. Once that is ready, then we can go off onto sending this to the customer via the system. So even at this stage, once this is done, I'd be able to download the quote. I can just send it via my Outlook and attach it, and I can launch this site. Yeah. So because obviously Edge system supports sending the quotes, you know, I wanna be able to use that fairly quickly. So that's just basically this part here. Well, let me just go back. How do I go back? Orders. Yeah, so I can go and send this email to the customer. I can put his email address, or his email will be there already from the system, and then, you know, this will be here, and I go send an email. Yeah, and that email will come through into my Outlook, and then this is what it would look like. Yeah. So this is just a screenshot of the Edge Commerce order or invoice that comes through. So again, if it's a quote, just change it to a quote, and then this information is as per the one I explained. So if it's a quote status of the order, then you will include this pay and proceed button. Scott, so I explained this. You probably will work on this part yourself. Which will essentially work similar into how the extra orders functionality works for Giant site. So you remember, we generate an extra invoice, you go pay and proceed, and you just go onto a payment page. I think initially you might log in first. Yeah, so you go, when you click pay and proceed, I would like this to mirror the Giant function where you don't have to go and put your username and password, but you're already logged in, and just go and make this payment. Yeah, so I'll just show you the quote turtle. You can just put in your credit card details basically and just click pay, and then that order will be paid. Now at that stage, once this payment is received, we will just automatically send an invoice, which is essentially the same thing, but instead of a quote 698, it will say invoice 698. Invoice date will be today's date, not the date of the quote. And the time when this was paid. This will say invoice number again, and then all this detail, thank you for your order. That message will be different from quote to an invoice. Invoice will say thank you for your order, blah blah blah, whatever. I'll come up with it, and then this information will be same, and then this will, instead of proceed, this will just say paid. Okay, that's this automatic sending of the invoice. And the order status, as I explained this here below, the order status will be paid. Yeah, and that's because the customer paid the order, and the system automatically will change the order status to paid. Okay, so I'll go through these order statuses. I only need these order statuses, so please delete any other order statuses so my staff are not confused. So quote order status is initially as it comes in from when the customer clicked submit custom quote. Quote sent means that the system, we have sent a quote to the customer using this feature. Now I can also change the quote sent status customer manually, because I may download the quote and I may send it via email, and then in that case I'm just going to go and change this myself manually. So obviously include all these automations that the system will create the statuses, but allow the admin to change these statuses as we see fit. Yeah, paid is an automatic status applied again when the customer clicked onto this button and they made a payment. In progress, now that's from when our staff, realize the order is paid, and then they'll put into the production. So then they'll just manually change that. And shipped means order will ship to customer. There'll be my team who'll be just selecting this to shipped. And then cancelled, say the order is cancelled, so we'll just say cancelled. So the admin will change that. So that's it, I think. So the important part about this, guys, again, is just want to reiterate, we need this functionality very urgently. So the first thing I need is custom quote submission comes into my CMS like this. Yeah. So all you gotta do is first you create these tables into my orders view. Then on clicking of the edit, you guys will need to implement this new formula that doesn't coincide with the Edge system, this new formula about how the quantity, kinds, price, discount and total price is created. And that then basically needs to be made into a quote, including the custom option for me to just type in the details of the quote. And at that stage, once I have this quote page done, I can call this as stage 1. I can download this myself and I can email it to the customer and collect credit card payment over the phone, whatever. So just keep me up to date with this, and let me know at each part of the completion stage, so that I can test and so that we can put this website up live as soon as possible. Okay, so I need you guys to then talk about now who's going to do which part, which section, and then if you can produce a timeline for me, that would be ideal. Thank you.